Amazon ads are difficult. There is no question about that whatsoever. I think every seller who is advanced to a certain stage can probably say that for certain. And I know for a fact that I am able to say that simply because of all the different types of campaigns I've had to run over the years. Everything from people with a budget as low as $50 all the way up to 500,000 plus, right? And you got to wonder, what do you do when you have a different type of level of budget compared to just the basics around PPC? That's exactly what this video is going to be all about. I want to go over a few tips and tricks for advanced PPC that a lot of people who are in this stage of scaling their brand are likely going to need. Now, this isn't going to be a video that's going to be a very basic how-to on some minimalistic type of advertising campaigns. Rather, these are going to be tips that I would always employ on any brand that is spending roughly $5,000 to $10,000 or more per month on their advertising budget. So without further ado, let's hop right on in and dive into these different types of tips. So the first one I think is obvious: Amazon Marketing Cloud. If you are a brand that is spending over $10,000 a month on advertising right now, and you are not utilizing Amazon Marketing Cloud, then you are essentially throwing money away. It does not matter if your tacos is 1% or your ACOS is 1%. You just, in general, are going to be throwing money away because you are not targeting and segmenting your audience as well as you can be. So how do you utilize Amazon Marketing Cloud to the best of your abilities? Well, a couple of different ways. So if we could head on over to audiences here, you can see that we have a couple of different types of audiences. So the ones that we set up on this account are going to be very specific for this exact brand and what the use case is going to be. But some things that I'm always going to be looking at is the actual use case of audience. So what are you trying to achieve? And the best way to understand what audience types you should be hitting and what you should be trying to target is going to come down to the actual ad that you're going to be running. So a lot of the times whenever we are looking at AMC audiences, we're not actually even looking necessarily at the audience itself, but rather what your overarching goal in advertising is. So if your goal in the ads is new to brand orders, that is going to be very different than someone who is just trying to remarket to past buyers. Those are two entirely separate audiences and also entirely separate ways of advertising. So you can set up audiences specific for things such as branded search terms. You want to have an audience segmentation that only targets your branded search terms. That's great. That's going to be a very high value audience for remarketing purposes. But at the same time, if you're trying to gain market share, then you really should focus on some very category specific keywords as well as essentially new to brand orders. So what I would do in these different scenarios, if your goal is remarketing, so to speak, we can check on this no code in case you don't know how to create queries. If you don't know, I will create another video and put that in the description at some point in time to check out how to create your own queries. But a couple of different things. So you'll actually think here and you see all these different audiences, and there's a lot of them, right? And you're looking through and you're like, what audience do I even use? And again, that comes down to, what are you trying to do? So for instance, let's say that you're trying to grow your market share. And so your goal at the end of the day, you sell a supplement and you sell B12. And so you're going to be advertising against the keywords vitamin B12, B12 mix, oral supplement B12, all of those generic keywords around your specific supplement B12, but you want to gain market share. Cool. The people to focus on are going to be things like this: new to brand, gateway, ASINs. This would be not your exact audience for that type of marketing. The reason being is that this is going to be an audience that is built around top ASINs within your category. Now, you could focus there if you're planning on doing some ASIN targeting campaigns, and this would be a great one, but it's not going to give you the same result for new to brand orders. Instead, what I would do for a campaign such as that is I would come through and I would actually set up our audience high value new to brand customers. So this exact audience is exactly as it sounds. You're going to have basically customers who are extremely high value. If you know anything about brand tailored promotions and customer segmentation, high value essentially means customers on the Amazon platform who are going to be spending more and spend more on average than any other type of customer segment. Now, the second aspect of this segment is new to brand customers. It's people who have never interacted with your ads, never clicked on your products, never bought your products before. They're entirely new to brand. They have not interacted with you. And this is the perfect opportunity to bring that person who is a big spender and a frequent spender into your market share and buying your product. So that is what I would focus on if you're planning on trying to do more generic, high relevancy targeting for your specific category. Now, secondarily to that, let's say that you're not trying to get new to brand, rather you want to try and decrease your overall customer acquisition cost while simultaneously increasing your customer lifetime value. Well, there's a really easy way to actually do that as well. We set up some branded terms and some branded search campaigns, and you're essentially trying to do that as well as set up competitor targeting campaigns. The goal of the competitor campaigns and the people who have looked at your brand is likely that they are people who either purchased your brand or abandoned your brand and bought a competitor or looked at competitors. So we want to target those from a keyword perspective. But then secondarily, we want to use this audience here. Audience that added to cart but did not purchase. This is as simple as it sounds. Somebody who adds your product to their cart, they never end up checking out. This is a great opportunity to attack yourself directly towards that type of audience segmentation. This will give you essentially all sorts of new customers that likely could have purchased at some point in time, but didn't. This is what we consider to be a remarketing audience, so to speak. It's people who know your brand in some capacity or they interact with your brand, but you want to try and increase your, or I should say decrease your customer acquisition and increase your customer lifetime value by essentially targeting those that are likely to also purchase your brand again. Now, the second audience type that I would really look at here as well is I would actually look at doing this audience that is frequently exposed to your campaigns. Now, these are basically people who, if you are running DSP advertising, and again, if you're a higher tier brand, this is the more tip for the very high tier. If you're running DSP advertising, this audience segmentation will allow you to essentially take all of that funneling, that top of search awareness from your DSP and funnel that into direct conversions on your actual Amazon store. So if you are running DSP campaigns and you're doing any form of awareness targeting through DSP, I would really encourage you to actually be pushing from a branded search perspective, audience frequently exposed to your campaigns. This will allow essentially all of those DSP to funnel down from the awareness into your mid funnel and finally actually purchase. And that's the big goal at the end of the day. And I think that's a hard difficulty, especially for larger brands, to know how much of their awareness campaigns are really actually driving conversion. And this is how you drive it. You don't set up ad campaigns on Amazon anymore, especially for larger brands, if you are essentially just going to be focusing on only one aspect of the funnel. We need to focus on top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel with our advertising campaigns if we want to gain as much market share as possible. Now, after we talk about the audience side of things, and there's a lot more we could dig into here, right? So there are things such as like the audience based on high value customer segments. This can be okay, but it's not really my favorite at the end of the day. We have audience based on sponsored keyword ads. This is another one. You could focus on this, right? And then again, this is a big aspect that this is more of an audience that I would, look at adding retroactively to some of your higher detail keywords that you get like rest of search placement on, but not necessarily you're going to be getting top of search all the time, right? Again, we have like click sponsored ads, but did not purchase. This is another remarketing that I would probably throw this audience into a similar campaign that you would the audience that add to cart, but did not purchase. It's going to essentially be an audience type that, potentially could purchase your product. They were interested in that general thing, but they're probably looking around at a couple competitors. So it's a great one to throw on there at the end of the day. So all of these different audiences are going to have their own internal and use case at the end for what you're trying to achieve, right? And that's a big part of getting more advanced with your PPC strategy. You're not just targeting keywords anymore. You're targeting specific customer segments. You are targeting specific people within the Amazon ecosystem. Again, your top of funnel, your awareness campaigns, building that brand audience, right? Then you're trying to get more reach. You're trying to essentially broaden the horizons of who actually knows about your brand. Then you're going to target your mid funnel. You're going to target those people that just are towing the line of potentially buying your product, but they haven't yet, right? And then finally, you're going to target those people that they're ready to buy the product right now, and you want to get those easy conversions across your product. And so that's the core of how AMC is built, right? You get that understanding that fundamental use case for your sponsored product advertising now. Now, that's just the beginning when I'm thinking about advanced PPC strategies for higher tier brands. The second thing that I am going to be looking at for the majority of brands that are larger in scope and what they're doing would actually be rules. And this is something that I see so under leveraged, so under tapped. It's actually just under our campaigns, this little section of rules. And I think everyone knows budget rules and how they work at this point in time and what they look like and what you're doing, right? But there's a caveat here that I want to touch on. And that caveat is specifically how you should be using account level budget rules, right? And campaign budget rules. Because most people use them, frankly, incorrectly. And so I'll take this one right here. We just have this labeled performing campaign. All it is, and we just have one campaign in here, but you can add as many campaigns as you want. But it's as simple as this. If our performance metric, which is ACoS, which is what we want, and we know what our ACoS goal needs to be for this account in particular, we're looking somewhere between 15 and 45%. If we know that essentially our ACoS is less than or equal to the low barrier of what we're seeing as like an ACoS goal, 15%, then we want to increase our budget, right? We want to increase that budget out the wazoo. And the biggest part of that is because we know that this is an extremely profitable campaign. And so we don't want our budget running out at any point in time. And this is something that I see so often where people are so concerned about their budget that they end up setting their budgets way too low, and they don't think about the aspect of what to do if they're frequently running out of budget. What happens? You're going to lose sales, right? This is a big, big thing, and it affects people who don't understand, I think, the core principle around advertising. And that is that if you are getting sales in any capacity, as long as those sales have a profit metric, it does not matter how much you spend on your budget, right? It does not matter if you spend $100, $1,000, $10,000, as long as the actual sales that you are getting from that campaign are profitable, right? That is the big picture thinking when you're looking at budgets. And so that is why any large account whatsoever that I'm ever working on, if it does not have budget rules set up in some capacity, especially ones like this around the actual ACoS goals, it's an immediate red flag, and it's something that needs to be actually actioned right away. You need to have these set up so that you can always make the most of every campaign that you have set up. You can also set this for click-through rate, conversion rate, and ROAS. Now, ACoS is always going to be my personal favorite, but I have worked on accounts where, for instance, conversion rate is the biggest metric, right? They want to make sure that every campaign they have has at least a, let's say, 0.75 to, click-through rate, 0.75 to 1.5 overall click-through rate. And that makes a lot of sense. Increased budget if your click-through rate is super, super high and it's working. So all of these make sense for, again, more advanced strategies around ads. Now, the final tip that I will share with everyone today to kind of get through all of this would be the aspect of how you actually set up your account. So you can actually see this account here that we're essentially setting up, and you'll notice here down at the bottom, we have 700. We have 700 campaigns, right? And that seems like a lot. There are not many accounts out there, right, that have 700 campaigns. A lot of times when you see 700 campaigns, the first thing I think is, oh, this is probably just like single keyword campaigns ran by some AI algorithm. And I'll say, frankly, this account is not, right? This account does not have any form of automation. This is all handheld. And how is it possible to actually get all of these campaigns, all 700 campaigns optimized all the time with that much, just doing it manually? And that is super simple to answer. And that would be that you need to learn how to actually use the reporting and bulk sheets. There is nothing that will be easier for you at the end of the day than learning how to use reporting templates within your PPC. There is not a brand I know that can scale to past a certain level without understanding bulk sheets and without understanding direct reporting within inside Amazon ads. Amazon ads now as well has a lot of templates. They have so many templates and so much to understand. It can be daunting, right? But there are some things that are very, very useful within this. So what are the templates here that matter the most? First and foremost, your campaigns. You need to understand how to edit campaigns from a bulk level with your actual templates. The second would be your products. Understanding what products are driving your sales. Which ones are costing you the most in your ad spend? Which ones are getting the most clicks? This is going to be imperative not just for your ad strategy, but for your overall strategy on the actual brand and increasing, right? If you see that one of your products ad campaigns typically has a lower click-through rate, that gives you an inclination that you need to change your main image potentially and your title. These are things that you are only going to get the granularity from all of this reporting within Amazon. Finally, I love search term impression share. Search term impression share is the best thing to be able to be looking at when you have a larger brand. And obviously, it only works off of the idea of like sponsor brand, sponsor product, but it's a big thing, right? Especially if you're a brand that is this level, you're likely going to be spending a lot of money both on sponsor product and sponsor brand. And again, likely DSP. And so understanding what your actual impression share across each of the different keywords is going to help you understand how much of your actual market share you have. And again, taking that entire process and funneling it back through into your audience targeting. So all of that being said, the biggest takeaway from this entire video and all of these different aspects is this. When you are looking at any form of advertising on Amazon, there are some big takeaways. You have to understand where you are within your growth scaling cycle, how much you're spending, and as well, at some point in time, you have to take a picture of the entire funnel. You have to understand what is your top of funnel, how are you targeting it, what is your middle funnel, how are you targeting it, and finally, what is your bottom of funnel and how are you getting those to finally convert. Once you crack and understand that advertising is not just keyword in, dollar out, and you look at the entirety of the funnel, you look at your organic, you look at your brand share, you look at your actual market share and your search term impression share. Once you understand each layer of that funnel and start targeting audiences, it clicks a lot more as to what advertising actually is, and it's a full funnel. And that's exactly what we do here at My Amazon Guy for every single one of our brands that we tend to manage. So we look at the entire funnel for your marketing campaign. So if you loved this video and you want to see more videos like this, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, leave any comments you have about what I went over down below, and I'm happy to record some more content around it. Hope you like this. See you next time.